from when I first used Scott, I want to say it's been about 4 years. We've gone 3x the company easily. Easily. You know, you pay this, but the potential is to get this.
Hi, I'm Scott Austin, and I'm the owner of JadePuma, which is an e-commerce agency focused on Shopify stores. I think Shopify is by far the best e-commerce solution for small and medium-sized stores. And the beautiful thing is, if you watch how often they ship new releases and new features, they're always innovating. And I really enjoy, now that I've been on the platform for about 8 years, seeing how it grows and progresses and gets more capable every single year. At JadePuma, what I try is to have our agency be more than just task doers. Clients come to us and they have a laundry list of things to do, and we can do that. But the value that we add to them is the business advice that we give, not just customizing their theme or adding a section, but actually helping them understand where their business is, what phase their business is in, and what their priorities should be. There's no one customer type for JadePuma beyond being an online store focused on Shopify. So we have literally people who are just starting their business, have no idea what to do. We have well-established, family-run businesses, that are saying, let's say $10,000 to $100,000 a month. And then we've got, bigger companies and bigger brands that are doing tens of millions of dollars through their store. So I can help a big company and I can help a small company because I learned from both of them, take those best practices and bring them back to all my customers. How I got into e-commerce is not one of those things where I said, I'm going to go do this. So when I moved to San Diego, I never thought I'd own my own company. And then a few, partners of mine, we started our own startup. And then completely by accident, our first client was a Shopify store. So we had to make our app work with Shopify. And we learned that Shopify had these rich APIs that allowed us to integrate with it and talk to it really easily. And then before you know it, as we're selling this personalization app to different clients, most of them are on Shopify, and they start asking us for help with their Shopify store. So I completely accidentally became well-versed and technically capable in Shopify. It was never my intention. We were building a software business, ended up becoming an e-commerce agency. But that was one of those doors open, doors closed, and you're like, hey, this makes sense. This feels right. I really enjoy this. Let's go down this route. So one of the strategies I have with JadePuma, and it's a business strategy that I think most e-commerce stores should use also, right? And that is content marketing. There's a lot of knowledge about Shopify that I've gained in the almost decade that I've been working on the platform. And my philosophy is to share that information freely with everybody. So if you go to jadepuma.com, I've got multiple blogs that actually share best, tips, best practices. I even share code to people. So if my code is something that you can leverage because you know how to edit code, then I'm more than happy for you to take the code that I've written and use that. So by sharing all my best practices as freely as I can to people, I find that people use that. And if they have the skills to take that and run with it, they're off to the races. A lot of people either don't have the skills to use that code or don't have the time to implement the solutions that I'm talking about, and they end up contacting me directly. So the way that I find my customers is through an inbound marketing strategy of putting out lots of great information for free, and it's really value add information. And for those people that it works for, great. For those people who want someone to do it for them, I'm here for them. I think that customer acquisition is the hardest part of e-commerce for any business. For my small clients in particular, I think the challenges that they have is they have to wear many hats. They literally have to be the janitor and the strategic thinker at the same time. So a lot of my small clients have a hard time with business best practices because they don't have as much exposure to those things because they're so busy doing so many things. A medium or a large size store probably already has a really good product. They probably, are really good at fulfillment and delivery. And if they use a service like mine, they'll be able to handle their technology and their website really well. And that just leaves customer acquisition as the big challenge. So even if you figure out how to acquire customers through one channel, then it's time to move on to the next channel and become an expert at that. And then the next channel and the next channel. E-commerce growth is growth of customer acquisition skills. Content marketing is a really important thing. We help our clients with content marketing all the time. We want to help them make a piece of content, tell their story, and then get that out to their customers through any means necessary, whether it's a pack-in done through their Amazon, whether it's through a social channel or advertising on Google, doesn't matter, right? We're trying to get to customers. And that's what JadePuma is trying to help our clients do, is help them reach their customers wherever they are. What do my customers think about me? You should ask them.
Well, what I really think about Scott, do you want to know? He's a very smart guy.
So JadePuma is just a massive Shopify brain that knows how to create the tools and implement them for customers to go in and go, aha.
Yeah, yeah, and he's helping smaller companies, which is so great because you might argue we need the most help.
So I think of Scott to be a little bit of a tech nerd, and I think that's a good thing when you're looking for somebody to redesign your website. You need somebody that's familiar with all that language and lingo, and Scott definitely comes across as confident and fluent in the tech industry. So you're a nerd, my friend.
So I first discovered Scott Austin through podcasting. I am an avid podcast listener. And the one thing that differentiated, at least in my book, Scott's podcast is he talked very technical, but he made it very easy for a person to understand. I just felt like this is one of the guys that's just not just talking. He actually he's walking the talk. And he knew the back end and the front end of Shopify.
It just made us feel warm and fuzzy inside, knowing like, hey, he's done this. We really like the design of these sites. Let's do it for ours as well.
He just took a lot of time, and was not pressurizing at all in the sense of like trying to understand the needs and also, and then he gave a lot of tasks, which I wish I could have done faster, but sometimes things take a bit of time.
If you guys are questioning if JadePuma is the right choice for you, I would just recommend booking a consultation call with him and getting some time set aside where he can review your product, your brand, and your website. That's something that we did. And after that call, we just knew that Scott was the right partner for us. And so I think if you guys are wondering what the next steps are book a call with him. You'll like it.
Scott has brought our business to the next level, and from start to finish, he makes the process very fun but challenging, and it's worth all the effort.
My experience with JadePuma has been extremely simple and very successful.
This is why my job is so rewarding, right? I get to work with people like that, and I feel the same way back. And then the best part of that is I'll migrate somebody from a really old platform and bring them into Shopify that they've been on that platform for 12 years. And on day one, they've got like twice the conversion rate just because now their site is mobile and responsive. And all of a sudden, all the demand they had is starting to get fulfilled. Those experiences are just so rewarding for me and for my client. It makes my job so fulfilling.
I'm actually starting to wonder if it's Chewy behind the keyboards making everything happen and you're just the mouthpiece for him. That's what I'm really thinking.
So the thing that I can say about Chewy is the most productive meetings I've ever had is Chewy's always there. So the question we've always wondered here is Chewy the brains behind the organization?
There is a secret, though, in working with JadePuma that most people don't know, and that is, the brains behind the operation. Normally, you think it's the owner and founder of the company, but in this unique scenario, it's actually the dog Chewy. It's a rescue dog Chewy, which gives all its superpowers to Scott when it sits on his lap as he's designing on the computer. So most people don't know that. Fun little fact about him, but Chewy is where all the power comes from.
Scott, we need to know, is Chewy doing all the work?
So this is Chewy. Chewy's a 4-pound Chihuahua. He's a rescue dog. He showed up at the rescue place with a broken leg, and he's so uncoordinated, he broke his other leg while there. So I have a picture of him with 2 casts on. And he's the sweetest little guy ever. He's been with me for 6 or 7 years now.